Bells and bells, what's going on, baby? We are back with you guys on a Tuesday, a wonderful Tuesday it is. I'm here with my fellow world champions. I got Mad Up Joy with the gentlemen. Good evening to you.
Good evening. Good evening. How you feeling today, kind sir?
Well, I'm up in arms a little bit, man. My Pistons are trailing right now, and they're on the brink right now. My Tigers are going against your Astros. You wouldn't put on that Astros jersey just to tick me off. So I'm hoping for the Tigers win in Houston tonight. But I told you I was going to get you. But you know, in the interest of fair play, I just want to go ahead and remind you that we are 9 days into the awesome Intercontinental title reign of Dominic Mysterio. I'm telling you, man. Hey, he's on his way to become the greatest Intercontinental champion of all times. So what do you think about that, man?
I don't think about the greatest because you got Mr. Perfect, you got Macho Man, so he got some work to do.
No, yeah, we got Dominic Mysterio. Joey, what's up, man?
Man up, you got to no sell it, man. You're selling too much over here. You got to let it go, man.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta make him think nobody cares. And you know what? Mm-hmm. I'll take up for man up in this. Detroit gonna do what they always do, manage to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. So
thank you. I appreciate that. In that good spirit, we have an awesome guest tonight, guys. I've been waiting for this one. She's been on the road a lot, and we're gonna get into that a little bit. But without further ado, let's welcome our guest to the show. We have the Renaissance woman, the queen of the Indies, Hyan, joining us on the show tonight. Tam, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, shoot. We were talking about before we came on and whatnot. You are a busy woman.
I try to be.
Oh my gosh. All right, just putting it into context. She just wrapped up WrestleMania weekend. She was down in Las Vegas all weekend. She hopped on a plane to go to New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Then you went somewhere else, and now you're actually at home, like the first time in like 2 or 3 weeks. So, yeah, the busy life, ain't it?
It's definitely busy, very tiring, but super worth it.
Yeah, you got what like 2 or 3 days off, then you're back at it again, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Good deal. All right, well, we're gonna say hi to everybody. Then we're gonna jump into this.
All righty, what's going on, Platinum Swords? How you feeling?
We got Platinum Swords in the house.
Generic, and now we go to school. What's up, fam? How you feeling?
All right.
At least your Pistons didn't get worked like my Heat. Okay.
Ooh, they got the brake speed up. They're behind, boys.
Oh, here, yep. What it do, oh here? What's going on, Wrestling Bunkers? How you feeling?
All right. So we'll want to talk about your career. We talk about some of the things you got going on. Get some of your opinions on some things. We're just gonna have some fun with it tonight. if we have some time, we might even do a little bit of word association. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and get into this. Um, this is Hyan over the years. So from beginnings to current. So let's start on the far left one. Like this whole crazy thing that is professional wrestling. How did you get hooked into this?
I was just like a huge wrestling fan growing up. I used to watch it
Okay.
with my cousins and
Mhm.
my grandpa, and anytime
Yeah.
they would come around to Houston, I would go to the shows. Like I remember going to Raw at the Compact
Okay.
Center, which is now Lakewood Church. But yeah, like I was always just a huge fan growing up, and I kind of stopped watching when I got maybe in middle school, high school,
Okay.
and then started watching it again when I was in college.
Mhm.
And when I was in college, I just remembered, like, as I was watching it again, being like, oh, I used to love this. And I always wanted to be a wrestler when I was a kid. And then, like, as an adult, I'm like, I can actually kind of do it now. How do I do it?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I
Yes.
just found like a local school and started
Okay.
training. And then
Okay.
I started training when I was 20. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then what year that was? That was 2000 and
Probably 2014.
2014. So yeah, because you've been at this as a while. So first picture is I am
Baby.
I am the baby. All right.
Yeah.
So Hyan the baby. First wrestling match. What was going through her head?
I was super nervous. But honestly, my first match was a horrible experience.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was awful. Yeah, it was so bad that I was like, I don't know if I even want to do this anymore.
Wow.
But
Wow.
luckily I had some friends backstage with me, and they were like, this has happened to me before, like it's okay, like this happens to everyone, so just keep going. And so I kept going.
Okay, good deal. All right, picture number two. Talk. We showing some character now a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily my idea.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
kind
Okay.
of forced upon me,
Okay.
because like I have a Korean name.
Okay.
Hyan's my real name, and
Okay.
a lot of people think that I'm Asian, but I'm not. I'm full-blooded Latina, and
Okay.
the place that I was working at the time,
Okay.
like, put me with another Asian man as their valet, and was just like, "You're Asian now," and I was like, I guess. So that was kind of how that went. And then as soon as I could get away from that, I definitely did.
Absolutely. And picture number three. This is where I remember you the first time I saw you live 2017 ish.
Yeah.
Sabotage Wrestling, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I think
Yes.
that's like the year when I really started to get out more.
Right.
Like really started working around in Texas, but also like branching out into other states. Because if I remember correctly, that photo was taken in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that was when I was really first starting to really dip my toe into independent wrestling and really trying to get out there.
Absolutely. And picture number four, we started transition towards the Renaissance woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, talk us through the Renaissance woman and how you came up with that.
I was, a Renaissance man, a Renaissance person is someone
Okay.
that is a jack of all trades. And I always
Okay.
felt that like my style in the ring was very adaptable. Like I could be a powerhouse if I needed to be, and a high flyer if I needed to be, a brawler or a striker, whatever the situation called for. So that's kind of how I incorporated that into my persona, I guess you could say.
Awesome. Picture number 5. When I saw number 5 and the blonde hair, I'm like, okay, all right. So you caught me by surprise on that one. Try something new in number 5.
Yeah, that was the blonde era. It was definitely something new, but I don't regret it. I think I was really trying to find myself during that time in the ring and just like as a person. So yeah, it was cool, but I wouldn't go back.
And that definitely, and now it takes us to the present. And I'm gonna yield to my tag team partners. I know that they had a question. Man, what you got?
All right. Now I know you said that when you first got started, and you took your first bump and you said that you didn't really like it. You thought maybe that you wasn't doing it right, and people was trying to encourage you and stuff. How do you feel when you was in that state of mind, in that feeling? How did it make you feel like going forward?
I think it's just like a personality trait of mine where I don't like to quit. So it's like when I start something, I like to see it through. And I had already kind of decided that that's what I wanted to do. So in my head, I was just like, well, I see all these other wrestlers bumping and doing all this stuff. If they can do it, I can do it too. So I'm just going to keep going.
Nice. You got anything, Joey?
Yeah. So did you, when you're getting started, it doesn't even have to be like going back to like being a fan as a kid, but it doesn't have to, we don't have to necessarily just go with the big names, but what wrestlers inspired you getting in the business? And then even then, what wrestlers have continued to inspire you?
My favorite wrestler growing up was John Cena. Okay. So I think he really encouraged me or just inspired me to get in the ring. And then seeing kind of all the women that were in WWE at the time. Because when I started rewatching in college, it just so happened. I had started rewatching right before Total Divas came out.
Okay.
And then watching Total Divas, I don't know, it felt more achievable, the dream. And just seeing the women and what they do, it made me want to do it even more.
Nice. Okay.
Good deal. Generic Driver, one of our favorites did. But did you have more fun when you were a blonde, Miss Hyan?
No, I didn't.
You get a lot of time bleaching hair.
It's too much maintenance to keep up. It is a pain in the butt. Your hair gets destroyed. Don't recommend.
Yeah. All right. In our promotion of today's show, we mentioned that as seen on the definite in the brands. The first one I will assume was WWE. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Take us back to that. Take us back to that day. And you appearing in front of people you know. In the ring with Nia Jax.
It was, I think, almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
I really wasn't expecting to get chosen. I was doing extra work for WWE. Mm-hmm. I was the only girl there. When they were kind of picking the extras for what they were going to do, if they were going to even do anything, because most of the time you don't. They had already picked what they wanted. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm not doing anything. I'll just go ahead and get my catering, have fun with that. And then as I'm finished stuffing my face, they're like, oh, we're going to use you. I was like, oh, okay, great. It was really cool because it was in the Toyota Center, which is in Houston.
Yeah.
So I can say I wrestled in the Toyota Center.
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
I wasn't. It's so funny because I wasn't actually like nervous for it.
Okay.
To wrestle, and I don't know what it was. Like I just wasn't nervous. I was more excited than anything, and I had a really good time.
Awesome. Next was AEW.
Yeah, that was against Abaddon, which is really funny because we actually wrestled each other. I think in September, or October, recently. And that was like the first time I think it was a dark, I'm making her look good. And then this time around we're in Texas and we're having like a competitive match. And it's just funny how life does these things sometimes.
Absolutely. And you on Ring of Honor, not just in the newest incarnation, but prior to Tony Khan buying it as well. I think that was the pandemic time as well, wasn't it? Talk. I want to dive into that. Talk about that experience. During the pandemic, they trying to get wrestling back going and whatnot. I know they had all those different protocols and stuff in place.
Yeah, we had to get COVID tested, I think, like every day, and socially distance and be very mindful of, what you're doing, which is very different for a wrestling show. And, also just getting used to having no fans is very, very jarring. And I'm so glad we're past that now.
Yeah, and it seems like after the pandemic, you had, like really have just taken off in work wise on the road wise. Every time I'm looking around, yeah, you're on a flight somewhere. So absolutely kudos to that. Your latest round in TNA with Cora Jade.
Yeah, that was it's funny because I haven't seen her in forever.
Exactly.
I had met her before I moved to Chicago because I used to go and wrestle in Chicago pretty frequently before the pandemic, and she was still training. She hadn't even had her first match yet.
Right.
And then I moved over to Chicago, saw her a lot there, and she got signed. So we didn't really see too much of each other after the fact. And so it was really cool to see her again. And I got to tell her, I was like, I'm so proud of you. Like, you're killing it. And wrestle each other again, because I think we'd only wrestle each other in a tag in Chicago. So it's cool to do a little one-on-one and again, like a full circle moment. It's like, oh God, I knew you before you even wrestled, before you even had a match. Here you are.
Nice.
I love it.
And then to work with her in a company she's not even signed with is got to be even crazier.
Neither of us were signed there.
That was going to happen. Yeah.
Neither of us are signed there. It's just so random.
Yeah.
Okay. I got one for you too. Now that you, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit right here now, but now that you past the blonde stage and you're and now that you're comfortable in your setting, then where do you see yourself at now? Where do you see yourself going? I should say.
I don't know. Though everything's kind of open, and I feel like I have a lot of options. I would honestly love to just move to Japan and be there for a year and wrestle. I feel like I tend to take like the longest path to get somewhere. But I'm okay with that because I get to get a lot of experience that some people wouldn't otherwise get,
Yeah.
So I don't know. The future, just keep staying busy. I'm really happy where I'm at right now, but staying busy.
That's good.
Absolutely.
It's always great to stay busy. Always.
Absolutely. You are definitely one of the most well traveled in the talent right now. not just here in the States, but your passport is definitely getting some stamps. So, but I want to say you've had three tours of Japan, correct?
Two.
Two tours of Japan. You had the UK tour. You have two UK tours, right?
Three UK tours.
Three UK tours. A couple Germany, and the Netherlands in there. Canada. You making your first trip to Mexico. Next month. Traveling to all these different different places, these different styles, you truly get the chance to put that Renaissance woman to the test.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely talk us through with each of these places. Any challenges or differences that you notice versus here in the States?
I think they're all pretty different from the States, maybe with the exception of Canada. Canada is very similar to the US, and there's a lot of wrestlers that, drive across the border and wrestle in each country. So I would say Canada's probably the closest to the US. And then my favorites have always been like Japan and England. I feel like I've become a better wrestler every time I go to England because I'm always challenged, and I really enjoy that. And I feel like I become a tougher wrestler when I go to Japan. And Germany is, I feel almost like a mixture of the two because it is in Europe, so it does have like that European style that's kind of like in the UK, but they don't speak English, and they do have their own style too. They're kind of like a hybrid, and it is a lot of fun. Like WXW in Germany, it is one of the most like polished productions I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Generic Jobber, he's a huge Japanese fan. And he put out there which promotion in Japan would be your dream job. Just keep in mind like because you work for Marvelous, you've done some work for New Japan Strong, you work with Noah. So if Hyan could work for one of those companies or any company in Japan full time, which one would that be?
I would love to do a Stardom run. That would be a lot of fun, and I feel like it'd be a different challenge. I've done the Marvelous, the Noah, the New Japan, Senjo, Sendai Girls, Wave. So I've had a really cool experience, and I've got to do a lot of companies in Japan, but I haven't been able to do Stardom, so I feel like that's next.
You not only have you worked with those promotions, you have worked with some of the top some top Joshis as well. I have a hard time saying her last name. You just recently wrestled Azumi as well. So you've been wrestling them all here and there.
Yeah. I love wrestling the Joshis. I feel like I always have my best matches against them. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's just like a chemistry.
I love it. All right. Good deal. And Mexico coming up next month. How excited are you for that one?
I'm very excited. Not just to wrestle there, but my uncle lives in the town that I'm going to be wrestling in. So I haven't seen him in years. So I'm really excited to see him, and he's really excited to see me. So, wrestling brings people together.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wrestling brought all three of us together.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I go.
Question for you. With with the differences in the crowds, and that even happens within the United States. You go from state to state, region to region, you get different crowds and stuff like that. What has been your experience, at least, with challenges with different crowds? Have there been challenges with that for you personally? And I guess what are some of the most fun crowds you've worked in front of?
I think just coming from America, it is a little bit different, like a Japanese crowd, because they do tend to be more quiet. So in America, you're kind of conditioned to be like, well, if the crowd is quiet, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
And so that's not necessarily the case in Japan. Sometimes they're quiet because they're just watching. So that is definitely like a huge adjustment where you're in the match and you're like, I feel like things are going well, but why is it kind of quiet? Which they do come alive. They're not quiet the whole time. So, but once you the first time it's jarring, and then you adjust, and then you get better at it. My favorite crowds would be the UK crowds, because they have the football chants and they're all very loud and rowdy, and then they bring the energy, and I love that. Like it's like hands down my favorite crowd.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they pretty much, that's what I was thinking of. They pretty much do the same thing they do at rugby games, at football games, stuff like that. They treat it the same. The cheers and everything are the same. So
yeah, and it's a lot of fun. Like it just gets everybody, the whole crowd gets into it.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing too. That lets you know, as a performer, as the artist that they came to see, that you're doing something that they like. So yeah.
Are there states in the United States you haven't worked yet that you want to get to?
That I haven't wrestled in. I have
I mean, some places I wouldn't even know if they have like wrestling in Idaho or somewhere like that.
Yeah, some places it's just like South Dakota. I don't think there's wrestling there. Would I like to go? Sure, but there are some dead spots in the country.
Yeah,
Arizona has a okay wrestling scene. Have you been out there yet?
I have not. I've never wrestled in Arizona.
Arizona promoters, hello.
A lot of their companies went under and haven't You remember Championship Wrestling from Arizona? That's not a thing anymore. Like a lot of their stuff. I don't know if it's just big in Arizona or not big, but it's unfortunately a lot of companies that were there and prominent are not there anymore.
Arizona promoters, if you're watching, you have a Renaissance woman who's willing to travel. Just saying. Just saying.
Oh man, now I gotta go back to this here. Being that you are from Texas, how well traveled are you as wrestling wise, in Texas?
Oh, I've wrestled everywhere in Texas.
San Antonio, Austin, El Paso,
I think only one really is El Paso, but that's just because I'm not driving to El Paso. I'm getting on a flight to El Paso. And there's really not a lot of wrestling in El Paso either.
Gotcha. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So earlier, we talking about wrestling made folks together. For the three of us, belts brought us together. So let's talk about championship belts and all the belts that you've had over the years. Starting with the top left, Hyan is the 1,618th DDT Iron Heavy Metalweight Champion. My question to you is, what was the circumstance of you winning this championship?
The champion at the time was Unagi, and we were at West Coast. Okay. I believe what happened was, so in our match, one of the refs pinned her, and then another ref pinned another ref, and then I pinned that ref, and then she pinned me, and then she retained. And so I had the belt for like a minute.
I love it. All right, but you're number 1,618 in that title reign history. So Congratulations to you being a
Thank you.
part of that. Moving. Let's go to. Oh, we'll go upper right hand corner. Because the first phase of your belt collector, elevate pro. That's out of Louisiana, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, that one. And I think the other one is the
Vixens,
uh,
but I
yeah,
don't think it's that. I think it's under a different banner now.
yeah. That different banner is the one underneath there.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to follow along. That blue one in the back. I was trying to figure out actually which one that was. Do you remember which one that was?
Ooh, which blue one?
Upper right hand corner. The
Oh,
white one.
yeah. That was in Corpus Christi. I don't remember the name of the company. But yeah, that was actually the very first belt I won.
Really?
I don't remember
Okay.
the company. But it was in Corpus Christi, yeah.
Yeah, because it was the woman. If it's the women's side, I know it's not GCWA. I forgot what that promotion that
Yeah, it was a
before.
smaller one, but it's not GCWA, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But then underneath it is the VWR Vixen's title. That came after that. Let's go to Sabotage Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got introduced to you. I seen you progress from the faction from LWO into the Renaissance Woman. You beating Erica Torres for that championship. Take us back to that point, because it seemed like after Sabotage, like that ball really started rolling for you.
Yeah, I think once they kind of put the crown on me, so to speak, things started really picking up. And then the pandemic happened. But Sabotage always has a huge part of my heart. Like, they helped me so much and always gave me good matches, and the shows were always a lot of fun. I miss it.
Absolutely. I remember one of the matches you had when we had the women on. We had Kelly Klein. That was a great program that you all had as Sabotage. So I definitely remember that. After Sabotage, you started doing work with Shimmer. And Shimmer gets a lot of credit for really putting the emphasis on good women's wrestling. Talk us through your Shimmer experience and eventually becoming the harder Shimmer champion.
So Shimmer was one of my really big goals in wrestling. So when I finally got on the show, I was elated. I was so happy because I had been working towards that goal for maybe a year. Okay. And at first I was just happy to get on the show, and then I would just be happy to get on the flyer, and then I would just be happy to have like a cool match. And then when they were crowning the interim Heart of Shimmer champion, I didn't even think I would win it. Prazak said that we're doing like a tournament, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm all about it, sure. But I didn't know I was winning it until a few hours before the show.
Okay.
And I didn't even find out from Prazak. I found out from Holodead.
Oh, wow.
She was the one that told me. She was like, yeah. And then at the next show, because we had a show the next day, she's like, oh, yeah, we're wrestling each other the next day. I was like, oh, okay, cool. She's like, yeah, it's going to be for the Heart of Shimmer championship belt. And I was like, what? And I like looked at her confused. She's like, what are you confused about? I was like, wait, am I winning the tournament? And she goes, oh, you don't know? They didn't tell you yet? What? No, no one told me anything. And so I tried not to get my hopes up.
Right, of
Things
course.
with wrestling change all the time. So she told me, but I was like, she could be ribbing me. I don't know. Like it could just be a joke.
Sure.
But then yeah, like whenever they like officially told me, I was like, holy shit. But even then I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it till I actually won it. And that was probably one of the biggest accomplishments of my career, and probably one of the title belts that like it really meant something to me to hold it, because I worked so hard just to get on the show.
Right.
Like literally like flying myself out to Chicago type stuff. And I worked so hard to even just get on the show and to be kind of given this big opportunity. I wasn't expecting it. It came out of nowhere for me, and I was just super, super grateful for it. And every title defense that I had, I took really seriously, and I wanted it to be great.
Nice.
Absolutely.
That's nice. That's nice. Because it does happen that way a lot. People don't know that they're going to win a tournament or title or whatever until like a few moments before they go out there.
Yeah.
I guess maybe so they don't get nervous and mess things up. I guess I'm just guessing. But I got a question for you now too. Now that you accomplished all these championships that we see here on the screen, what's your next goal in accomplishing even more championships? What's your next goal?
I would love to hold the IWGP
Ooh.
women's belt in New Japan. That would be incredible.
Oh yeah.
So we gotta make space for the next picture.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Gotcha. I read between the lines. I got what you're saying. You got anything there, Joey?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
All right. So centered on the rise on the war of the genders championship. You had a great match with Mysterious Q, as Sabotage, and it's crazy because like you were just getting. I remember I was at the show. You had just got back
from England.
You had just from England, and then you were back out to go to Germany, if I'm not mistaken. Right after that, so it was like.
Yeah, I came back. I only had like 3 weeks in America, and then went straight back out to Germany. Came back and then went to Vegas for New Japan.
Okay,
exactly. Yeah, and had a match with Julia. So yeah, talk to us about that experience.
I didn't know I was getting a title match. I fully was not expecting it. Again, a lot of these things happen. I don't expect them. I kind of, whenever they contacted me to do the show, I was just, again, so grateful to be on New Japan, because it was, one of my biggest goals, and it's one of my favorite companies to watch and study wrestling. And I thought I was just going to be in a tag. I was like, oh, they're probably just going to put me in a tag or something. No big deal. And then as like we're exchanging emails, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, they want me to wrestle Julie, huh? So I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is a big opportunity. I have to like really take it and run with it. And I'm so grateful for the experience. Julie is awesome. And yeah, I think it's so cool that my debut in New Japan was a title match.
Absolutely. And of course, Julia is not. We just recently saw her on NXT, and making her Raw debut, along with someone you also very familiar with, Roxanne Perez, aka Roxy. You two definitely have a very special relationship as well. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we met when she was, I think, like 16. And she's really, really good, especially for how young she was at the time. And during the summer, or like when she graduated, she started getting busier and busier. And you kind of just, in wrestling, when you're going around, you're in carloads with people, you're on the same shows, you automatically kind of just become friends with these people. And I'm
Right.
like, I'm like over here, like in my 20s. I'm like, why am I friends with a 16-year-old? This is so random. But yeah, it's just how wrestling brings people together, and I'm super happy for her and her success. Like, she's killing it, and I'm sure she's gonna do great things on the main roster too.
Absolutely. The last belt is the promotion that you've been working with for like the last couple of years. First Wrestling. How in Minneapolis, Minnesota. How did that come about? Talk to us about this promotion, because a lot of folks may not have heard of this promotion.
Yeah, it's ran by Eric Cannon. Eric Cannon is, according to CM Punk, it's not my words, CM Punk, he's a Minnesota legend, which he is. Eric Cannon is fucking amazing. I started working with him during the pandemic because he started running shows in this synagogue, which was in Minneapolis, which was so random. And I started doing like the WrestlePalooza shows. And I always stayed in contact with Cannon. I always enjoyed his shows because the shows are just so much fun. Like, the crowd is amazing. And it's not even necessarily like a wrestling crowd. There's just people that like to be entertained. And I ended up winning that belt at the Mall of America. Again, didn't expect it to happen.
Wow.
Didn't expect it to happen. So, yeah. And then I've had so many opportunities to wrestle like really awesome wrestlers, like Brandon Gore, he's incredible, and Gringo Loco. Him and I wrestled at WrestlePalooza, and the match before ours, the top rope broke. Whoa. And it was it wasn't a thing where they could just easily put the ropes back on. Like, part of the post was actually damaged, so you couldn't put it back on. And so Cannon called like an emergency meeting. It was like, what do you guys want to do? Do we want to just wrestle without a top rope, or should we take all the ropes down? Are we doing this blood sport style? Like, what are we doing? And then Gringo's like, I'm a luchador. I need ropes. So we had to like tweak a few things going into the match, but I was really nervous because, one, I'd never wrestled Gringo before, and I always wanted to. He's amazing. So I wanted to be able to keep up with him, but also we're missing a top rope and now we have to improvise. So it was a huge challenge for me, but it actually came out really, really good. And I'm so happy that I did it. It's like another like cool moment in wrestling for me.
Awesome. This stuff. All right. We got about 15 minutes left or whatnot. Let's have a little bit of fun, shall we? We're gonna play our little word association game, a little stuff that we call Word Up. All right. So the way this works is I'm gonna pop it up on the screen. First thing that comes to mind, and we're gonna talk about it. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Look. First thing up. Worst injury that you've had.
Concussions.
Ooh.
They're the worst.
Is this like a multiple occurrence, or is it?
I got one really bad concussion. I think 2018. I think.
Okay.
And it's like once you get one. Because I had been wrestling for a few years at that point and never gotten one before. And then once you get one, it's a lot easier to get more. And so, yeah, I hate them. They are the worst. They are the absolute worst.
Okay. All right. Next up, stiffest opponent.
Giselle Shaw. She's my.
Really?
I tell her this all the time. She knows. Yes, but
wow.
But she's incredible, so I don't care.
Okay.
I was like, stiff me as all you want. At least the match looks amazing, and she's amazing. So no shade towards her. She's awesome.
Absolutely. That surprised me, especially with all the Japanese all the Joshis that you wrestle, I thought it would have been one of them.
It's all the work, man. It's all the work.
There you go.
The Joshis tend to be the lightest ones.
Wow.
I was gonna say a lot of people don't realize Giselle Shaw's UK background and
Yeah.
how tough she is.
Oh, okay. All right. Next up, biggest rival.
Probably Danny Luna.
Yes. Yeah. So biggest rival, and they put y'all in a dog collar match.
And a street fight.
Talk us through those. Oh my goodness.
So we had wrestled each other before plenty of times in the UK.
Yeah.
And then DPW started bringing her over, and I always have really good chemistry with the Brits and the Joshis for some reason. She's an incredible wrestler, so it's not hard to have a good match with Danny Luna. And she's really good at gimmick matches. I try to keep up with her in these matches, and she's awesome. She's awesome.
Nice.
Good stuff. All right. Favorite foreign object?
A chair.
Easily accessible. Just put the fan out of the way, grab a chair, do your business.
It hurts the least.
Okay.
I would so much rather take a chair shot than like anything else.
Okay. All right. You said it's all right. So which foreign object hurt the most to you?
I don't know if it like hurts the most, but I can say I don't like it.
Okay.
Well, actually I lie. A kendo stick hurts the most by far.
Okay.
But it's not my least favorite. My least favorite would probably be a light tube because it explodes and then the glass gets everywhere. So like I took one on the head, and it's like you would think you would get like cut on your head. No, I was getting cut on my back and on my hands.
Yeah.
And then you get itchy. It's just I'm not a deathmatch wrestler. And I don't like blood either. So
where was that at?
It was actually a heavy metal.
Really?
Yeah, it was at heavy metal.
Did I miss that show?
It was a no ring death match show. But it was for the funds for the show went to like abolish ICE. So that's why I agreed to it. Okay. Otherwise I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I must have missed that show. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Platinum Swords had to remind me. It's an international object. My bad. He tends to try to keep me correct on that one.
Exactly.
Favorite tag team partner?
Probably Giselle Shaw. We tagged a bit in the UK. Okay. And she's full of amazing ideas. So, and that's whenever I had the blonde hair. So she had blonde hair and I had blonde hair, so we looked the same. So it was a fun time.
Love it. Best gear. Outside of yours, because you
I was gonna say me.
Yeah, your gear is definitely on point. If you didn't say you, who would say have some of the best gear?
Probably Will Ospreay. His jackets are works of art.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. Guilty pleasure.
Whataburger.
Yes.
Like I should, like it's so good. I have to try. Like I really have to try to not, because I'm trying to maintain a figure, and that's derailing me.
It's like damn you, Whataburger. I love it. All right, longest road trip. So in a car, what is the longest road trip that you've been on?
16 hours to Chicago. Yeah.
Oh, from okay. Okay.
I never want to do it again.
That she never want to do it again.
Yeah.
Technician. Who comes to mind when you hear the word technician?
Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay. Okay. Good deal. Entrance. Has one of the best entrances.
Cara Noir
Okay.
in the UK.
Okay.
He comes out to like Black Swan.
Okay.
I tell anybody, Google his entrance. It is amazing, especially for independent wrestling. It is amazing. I love his. He has the best entrance in independent wrestling for sure, hands down.
Absolutely. Favorite belt design. So I will take it back to the belts that you've had. Which one of the belts that you have held?
Probably the Heart of Shimmer was.
Okay.
It's a very beautiful belt. Very beautiful belt.
Yeah, I remember taking the picture with you as Sabotage with both belts, and that was like amazing. That was like amazing to me. All right, good deal. Good deal. All right. Guys, if you have any other questions before we wrap this thing up.
Well, I got one now. Kind of lingering back to one of my other questions. Now that you're at where you're at right now in your career, what else? What's next?
I think I'm kind of like at a fork in the road. I feel like next would be TV. Or, like I said, I really want to do just a year in Japan. Yeah. So I'm like, whichever one kind of happens first, that's where I'm going.
Okay. Nice.
Good deal. I'm scared to almost put this up here, but
don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Okay, I won't do it.
Yeah, I won't do that.
Yeah. Awesome.
It.
All right, so good deal. Before we go ahead and cut you loose, we're gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and promote yourself, what you got going on. Go put your social media on the screen and go from there.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. It's at the Hyan, TheHyan, and then on Twitter or X, it's _ the Hyan. Good
deal. All right, good deal. This has been an amazing interview. Thank you so much for the time. For being as busy as you are, and you finding the time to come in here and do this for us, we definitely appreciate it so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, guys, if you are watching, go ahead and give her a follow on social media. Instagram does not have the underscore first, so it's just at the Hyan. So make sure that you go over there. You should show us some love. Yeah, absolutely. God, this has been absolutely amazing. Enjoy. We keep these interviews going, don't we?
That's right. Yep. Coming up next week, this will be the first time we had back-to-back weeks with interviews on it. But if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, especially, you'll remember one wrestler who was on our TV pretty much every single week, and that is the legendary journeyman professional wrestler Dusty Wolf. Texas people know him too. He's a Texan himself. But he's a mainstay, a guy who in the 80s and 90s especially wrestled everybody who's anybody. Wrestled. A lot of people know him from the indies too, and working as both Doink the Clown, Mr. Wrestling 3, amongst a lot of other gimmicks. And then, of course, several years back retired, but he'll be with us here next week. We're honored to have him on here, and he's a true legend in the sport of professional wrestling, so that's going to be a good time.
Yeah, exactly. We keep them coming. You guys keep watching. We're gonna keep bringing it to you. One last time to our guest, Hyan. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
the time. Like we definitely appreciate you share your insights, sharing your journey with us. Again, guys, make sure you go follow her on her many journeys and see where she's going to next. Hey, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to follow along her journeys. So for my tag team partners, Man Up and Joey, and for our guests, I'm your boy Cedric D. We will see you guys here next week here on Bells and Belts.
Yeah.